Hey everyone, thanks for coming into this special edition of the CE Pro podcast in conjunction with Commercial Integrator and my good friend Dan Farisi, the group editor of commercial and security at Emerald and the face of Commercial Integrator. Today we're welcoming Jason McGraw, the group vice president of CEDIA Expo, Commercial Integrator Expo, and KBIS. Jason, thanks for coming by.
Hey, my pleasure, Zach. Good to see you as well, Dan. Great to be here.
It's good to see you, Jason.
All right, so today we are obviously chatting about Jason's background and the Colorado Convention Center, where we'll all be at CEDIA Expo CIX 2025 in just a few short weeks now, just a little bit over 2 months. Jason, what are you most looking forward to this year at CEDIA Expo CIX?
Well, I'm really excited. As always, this time of year, things really start to ramp up as we're planning for the show. The exhibitors are starting to get all of their exhibits ready and new product announcements ready. And, folks are registering for the show and booking their hotel rooms. So everything is definitely picking up as we start to plan for our return to Denver in early September this year. So it's an exciting time of the year. I mean, it's like I say, it's like homecoming week for the CI industry, right? Like, so if you're an integrator, residential, commercial, resi-commercial, whatever kind of integrator you are, this is the place to be in Denver in September. And, I often joke in the past that this could be in a cornfield somewhere and 10,000 pros would show up. This is the must attend integration event of the year, not only for CEDIA members, but, all integrators, reps, distributors, dealers, tech managers. We have a growing body of attendees from different segments. Also, we're welcoming designers and architects and builders, security integrators, IT integrators, you name it. And, if you're involved in the ecosystem of installing audiovisual systems, lighting, control systems, security, that would go into, whole home automation, commercial applications, this is the great event of the year and the place to be, especially if you're in the business. Your business is, implementing these systems, designing the systems. And so we're excited about it. It's, the event. I've been involved in this industry a very long time. And, I personally get excited to see all the eye candy and cool new tech solutions that'll be at the show.
Absolutely. I get excited for the exact same thing. I'm just curious, Jason, you alluded to some of this about how CEDIA Expo and CIX is the one show where residential and commercial AV integration meet. That's a really significant fact, those synergies of those worlds coming together. Do you want to just talk about that idea? One show, residential AV, commercial AV, it's where the integrators all meet together. What is kind of unlocked by or unleashed by that synergy?
Sure. Well, it's no secret for many years now. Residential integrators have also been doing commercial projects. And probably for the last 20, 25 years, there are commercial integrators that also have, lines of business that touch on residential. There's certainly the whole space of what you call resi-commercial, but, multi-dwelling units, mixed-use retail, residential, commercial buildings that are converting to residential. There's a lot of residential-esque technology installs in hospitality and retail, higher ed spaces. So, there's this convergence that's been happening for more than a decade. And, a few years ago, we decided, hey, let's, have a show, Commercial Integrator Expo, co-locate it with CEDIA Expo, where we could bring more commercial product manufacturers to the show. Of course, there's many that have been at CEDIA for years and years, the Sonys and Legrands and Crestrons and Origin and other companies that have commercial and residential products, of course. But, even getting more commercial products on the show floor. So we have a joint show floor with both commercial and residential product solutions. We have content programming at the show. We have thought leadership sessions. I'm working with both of you gentlemen on our smart stage this year to moderate some of our thought leadership sessions for both commercial and residential, but basically really talking about this converged space. So it's really more about, the business opportunities and where technology is going and how you can use those different solutions for a wide variety of applications. And more than 50% of the CEDIA Expo attendees, while their primary business is residential, they also do
Mm.
commercial, and that's growing. And so, and then of course the technologies cross, over both channels. So we felt like, putting two things together over the last few years, it continues to grow, and that's why we're really talking about, a converged event. But again, it's we see a lot of growth opportunity for integrators if they're not doing commercial work. Maybe they should be, and talking about that at the show. And then certainly certain technologies like lighting, of course, goes across, both channels. So, we're really looking at this event moving forward as a hybrid event and really reflecting what's going on in the marketplace.
Right, absolutely. So how does CEDIA Expo CX continue to evolve? What should we be looking forward to this year for new stuff? You
Well,
know,
like I was just touching on, lighting, for example. We've got a tremendous number of lighting brands exhibiting at the show that weren't at the show a few years ago. We're getting more new companies, whether they do lighting fixture, lighting control, shade manufacturers, motorized shade and screen. That's been growing tremendously at the show as well. We're seeing more brands that deal with energy management,
mm,
sustainability, energy storage. These are definitely growth sectors at the show. Security manufacturers, especially those that have, I would say, smart security, whether it's access control or AI that's involved in, facial recognition, image recognition, and how you can customize and protect your systems, by biometrics and getting to know, like, hey, I am the homeowner or I'm the business owner. It recognizes me on the camera, etc. So, there's a lot of very progressive technologies. We're trying to reflect those and talk about them at the show, but still the bread and butter, I would say legacy is the wrong word, but the historical and current strength of the show is around audio and video and
mm,
control solutions at the show. And all the major manufacturers are there on the show floor this year, showing off their latest products. We have ample, audio demo rooms on the floor and off the
oh
show
yeah,
floor and the meeting rooms of the convention center. And that's always been a strong piece of the show, getting to go and actually see and hear systems being demonstrated at volume and have a real impactful takeaway of how the technologies can provide those great entertainment solutions for your customers, for the integrators customers. So, we have all that that's, there. And, we have, geez, 60 or 80 new exhibitors this year. So,
oh
I mean,
great,
we're constantly getting new brands that are entering the market space, coming to exhibit at the show and as along with the bellwether brands that come year after year, because this is for many of them, this is their channel show. This is the way that they get the products and information out to their channel partners, and that's where the channel partners get the information. So, this is the Super Bowl of custom integration, and
yeah,
so the excitement's building, and I think there's a lot that's new there. CEDIA this year has a brand new smart home conference, smart home education conference. They
mm,
also have commercial topics in their conference program this year, lighting topics, etc. Pretty much all new sessions. So we're excited to promote those and partner with CEDIA to host all their conference activities at the event. The keynote's going to be announced shortly. I know there's their awards and town hall and member reception and many CDM member activities that'll happen during the week of the show in Denver. We're excited this year to have the CE Pro All Star Band back performing at
oh
our
yeah,
opening party on Thursday night, which will actually be downtown at a performance venue, and it's open to all attendees, and it's later in the evening, like 8 to 11. so
Right.
folks can go after the show floor and attend some exhibitor hospitality dinners with their friends, etc., and then stop by our party on Thursday night with a C Pro All Star Band. And that's a great staple at the show as well. We have over 12 musicians from the industry, performing great songs that everybody knows and loves. So, we look forward to that as well.
Yeah.
There's Coastal Source sponsors the Destination Outdoors
Mm.
directly across the street from the convention center. So,
And
we're
that's been
continuing
great.
to really make sure that the show is a reflection of what's happening in the marketplace. New technologies are featured. The latest products are there. We know that the number one reason that attendees come to any trade show is to see new products, right? So, you know, that will be the case in Denver in early September. And, that's the motivation to say, hey, am I going to miss out if I don't attend the show this year? Am I going to not see something that I should have saw that's going to help my business, and not only in the rest of this year, but in the coming year? So I think it's so valuable. It can't, if you're in the trade, you can't miss coming to CEDIA Expo and CIX.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a couple quick things. The CE Pro All-Star Band features CE Pro's own Bob Archer on guitar, and he shreds. So go watch him shred. And yeah, this just to kind of echo what you were saying about actually getting to see these products that we keep hearing about all year long in action is so valuable. Just coming from a journalist covering this market, it's so valuable to see a and hear just a booming sound system that just blasts you with great audio in these demos. Home theater demos have been, um, you know, something that I've looked forward to every year. Um, some lighting demos over the years have been great. Yeah, I can't say enough about how valuable it is just seeing this stuff in action.
There's no doubt. I can't wait to be there. And Jason, as you said, the main reason people go to shows like CD Expo, CIX is to check out new products. But of course, the education opportunities are very important as well. And you alluded briefly to some of the CEDIA education track that's going to be there. But there's also going to be manufacturer product training. There's going to be the smart stage, which you also alluded to. Do you want to talk about some of those education and training opportunities in just a bit more detail? Because it rounds out so nicely the new product component of the show.
100%. I mean, a trade show is really three components, right? Seeing the new products, finding out about the technologies and trends through education sessions, and the networking part. So we just talked about a fun evening this with the CE Pro All Star Band. The education part, you're right. The CEDIA conference program is taught by industry professionals. There is a fee to attend that, and CEDIA members, get an incentive price on that. But the manufacturer product training sessions are free of charge. You do have to register for them, but those are being added to the website as we speak, and more manufacturers will send in their descriptions of their sessions. We usually have over 100 of those over the 3 days of the show. They're typically, 1 hour time blocks, and Crestron, Lutron, Sonos, Sony, other Savant, many leading manufacturers will do sessions on their latest technologies, systems, new products, etc. So those are great to attend. We talked about sessions that we're going to do on the show floor. I just want to mention, a couple of our partner groups like the AK Association. This year, they're going to be doing some sessions with some of their member companies in their booth on the show floor. So talking about the entire AK ecosystem and, hopefully educating attendees. Those are free. You can stop by during the 3 days of the show and visit their booth. And then also IMCCA. We've talked with them for a number of years. They've been supporting the show, talking about work from home, hybrid office technologies. They're also going to have some sessions in their booth on the show floor throughout the 3 days of the show. So there's a variety of types of education and knowledge sessions that'll be there in addition to the CEDIA conference. And, so knowledge is power, right? So I definitely encourage all attendees to, it's easy to come to the show, walk around the show floor and see new products, but, make the time to visit some of these free sessions or do pre-conference day Wednesday, the day before the show, is all education programming with the CEDIA conference. So, that goes also through Friday. So, make the time to put education and knowledge attainment on your agenda for coming to the show this year.
And so, Jason, what long-term trends do you see shaping future CEDIA Expo CIX events?
Well, like I said earlier, having the show be a reflection of the pulse of what's going on in the industry is a big part of that. So, to keep pace of what's happening in the industry, like I said, we've always tried to make the show a reflection of what's happening. So, always trying to attract new exhibitors with new technologies. Of course, everybody today is talking about artificial intelligence and how
Mm.
that's permeating society in so many ways. The rise of mobile and content management, the ubiquity of having your content on your device, using that device to control your systems, to share content, not only with peers but in your home and your office. The way we communicate has radically changed. Certainly was changing before the pandemic. Since the pandemic, it has, and has become commonplace. Cybersecurity and network security, everything being network addressable and living on a network. So, bandwidth and, robust architectures, the integration with IT systems continues. I think we see a lot of discussions around connectivity platforms, whether that's, Z-Wave or Matter or some of these others, and, how devices work on these systems and talk to each other. So there's a lot of technology trends that are happening, and we're trying to, keep pace with that and talk about them at the show and get manufacturers to show them at the show. But then looking forward, who's going to be in the industry, and we've talked with CEDIA, for example, about workforce development and the next
Mm.
generation of integrators and users and understanding, what a customer wants and desires, and getting younger people and celebrating, like you each have your own groups of, 40 under 40, 30 under 30, celebrating the up and coming next generation of leaders in the industry. And, so we're looking at, CEDIA Expo and CIX needs to continue to be that melting pot where we're having the best technologies, the next generation technologies, and then, all the leading players in the industry, the movers and shakers and these up and comers, and celebrating the successes, and that sharing of knowledge and that networking ability, right? I think that's another kind of serendipity that happens at the annual meeting when there's so many other events that go on throughout the year, right? There's other competing trade shows in different sectors and segments. There's certainly buyers groups events and distributors events and manufacturers events, but this is the singular event with the most amount of professionals that come together in residential systems integration, resi commercial, commercial. We're expecting over 15,000 people this year. This is the place to be, and we want it to keep evolving and keep being at the forefront of the industry. So we're going to continue in Denver this year. We're going to return to Denver in 26. We are making plans to have the show rotate again between a number of cities. So we're lining those up as we speak. So hopefully later this fall, we'll be able to announce like our next 5 years of where we're
Oh,
going.
amazing. That's
But,
great.
we definitely want to continue to, have the show serve as many people as possible here in North America. And, again, we want to hear from, the channel, the manufacturers. We frequently survey. We do pay attention to our post-show surveys from attendees and exhibitors. We have an exhibitor advisory committee. We want to make sure, and we work very closely with CEDIA and meet with them regularly throughout the year. And we share, here's our strategic plans. Are we, addressing the right things? So we want to make sure that the show is relevant, it's timely, it's a great experience, and we want to keep evolving it and making it better and bigger every year.
Can you give us a
I think
hint
it's
about future locations? Northeast, south, southwest, southeast. Come on.
uh, well, since we haven't signed,
I'm just
we're in the
kidding.
middle of signing contract. I can't leak that yet. but because we're still negotiating with a few cities, but I think generally people would be pleased. We do plan to return to some cities we've been to in the past and some new cities. And but our plan again is to start rotating the show back around the country.
Great.
And and I think that we did a survey, I don't know, a year plus ago. 80% of attendees and exhibitors, wanted the show to move. I mean, everybody loves. I mean, 80+% people love Denver. I think 100% of people should love Denver. It's a great destination, and walkable, awesome hotels. Right downtown, great weather. Everything. Great to fly into. It's a great city, and we will return to Denver in the future. But we want to start to move the show back around because we know that there are some attendees that, hey, I'm on the East Coast, maybe I'm not going to go this year, or hey, I'm further out west, and so by rotating around, we want to maximize as many that can come every year, and but we do have, like I said earlier, tongue in cheek, wherever it is, the core people will come, and that's true. But we recognize, a lot of things have to fall in place to have a great experience in great cities. We have to have enough space for the exhibits, large enough hotel block, great air connections, etc., and drivability. For those that don't want to fly, within 500 miles, how many folks can come to the show? So we look at a lot of factors when we're analyzing which cities to take our events to, and so it's exciting. I mean, we're excited about the future, and we're planning for the future.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jason. Really do appreciate it. I think all of us are really excited about CEDIA Expo CIX in September. For those who have watched this video and now say, I want my spot in the hotel block, I want to book my airplane tickets, I want to be there, or conversely, if you're a vendor, I want to sponsor, I want to be at the show exhibiting, what is the best place for them to go? How can they start? How can they make sure they're part of this great experience in September?
So go to CEDIA Expo, CEDIAEXPO.com. One singular website this year, one registration system for both shows. You'll find out all the schedule information, conference session information. You can register. You can follow the link there to book a hotel room. There are hotel rooms available, plenty of them. And again, within 6 or 8 blocks of the convention center is most of our hotel block, all easily walking to the convention center. So, book your hotel, register for the show, look at what the sessions are there. We have a variety of options. There's a full conference package that you can attend all the CEDIA Expo or CEDIA conference sessions rather. And there's other events there like the Women in CE luncheon that I forget what year it is this year. So many years with Carol Campbell and Technology Designer Magazine as well, doing a big luncheon on Thursday. There's a lot of opportunities. Visit the website for all the details and register and make your plans today. So it's coming up quickly, but we hope you stay cool this summer, and we'll see you in cool Denver in many ways in September.
Can't wait for it.
Looking forward to
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Thanks, Jason.